This is Dr. Krause. This is a parable I wrote a few years ago based on Ephesians 4, and it's called The Giftgiver's Gifts. There was trouble in the fellowship. Accusations flew across the community. Greediness was all-consuming. There was no peace. The great gift-giver was saddened because of the situation. He conceived a plan of action. 3 from the fellowship were summoned before the gift-giver. The first was an elderly man. The lines in his forehead and the pain in his gentle eyes spoke of the effects of the fellowship's trouble upon his own soul. "Old man," the gift-giver said, "you must go to the fellowship and deliver this message. The gift-giver loves you. Take this flashlight with you. It is an eternal flashlight, and its power source is never exhausted. Its bright beam will show you the way through the gloomiest forest or pierce the darkest of nights. Go now. I name you messenger." The next to stand before the throne of the gift-giver was a woman of mid-age. Her kind face also told the story of the pain of the fellowship. "Woman, you too must go to the fellowship," said gift-giver. "You must tell them that I love them. I know that speaking in public frightens you, so take along the speaking horn. If you use the marvelous speaking horn, the people will hear and respond to your message. Go now. I name you preacher." The final one to face the gift-giver was a young man. Although young, the gift-giver saw that he was weak and sickly. "Young man," commanded the gift-giver, "I desire that you also go to the fellowship with this message. You are loved by the gift-giver. Now I know you are not strong for such a journey, so use this bicycle. It is a bicycle which travels swiftly, and with which you will not grow weary. You must go now. I name you shepherd." While the 3 began their journey together, they soon parted company. Shepherd, feeling the urgency of his mission, used the speedy bicycle to press on ahead. Messenger also saw the need for haste, so he took a shortcut through a great forest. Preacher had begun to use the marvelous speaking horn immediately, and crowds had gathered, so she remained behind. Shepherd was making good time on the bicycle until he came to a large bridge over a mighty river. In the middle of the bridge, Shepherd was startled to see a young girl about to jump from the edge. So he jumped from the bicycle and he ran to her, crying, "Do not jump! Do not jump!" At first she did not respond, but then she turned and angrily shouted, "Why shouldn't I jump?" "Do you not know," pleaded Shepherd, "that Gift-giver loves you?" "I do not know Gift-giver," sobbed the girl, "but I do know that no one loves me. I long for death in the depths of this river." "But you are wrong," whispered Shepherd. "I love you. Come with me to the fellowship, and I will show you others who love you." He carefully extended his hand to her, and she almost jumped, but at the last instant she grasped Shepherd's hand. As they moved away from the edge, a huge truck lumbered across the bridge, and it crushed Speedy bicycle. Shepherd was shaken, but he did not let the girl see. Instead he said, "We do not need the bicycle. Come with me to the fellowship. It's only a short distance from here." Meanwhile, Messenger was making his way through the deepest part of the forest. Despite the darkness, the eternal flashlight showed the path clearly. As Messenger hurried on his way, he suddenly sensed that he was not alone. Turning around quickly, he was startled to see nearly 100 women and men following him. "Please do not send us away," they begged. "We've been lost in these woods for ever so long. With your flashlight to illumine the pathway, you can lead us out. We would be eternally grateful." Of course, Messenger let them follow, and soon they emerged on the far side of the forest. They had no sooner cleared the last tree, however, when a cohort of police accosted Messenger. "Give us the flashlight," they demanded. "No, I cannot," answered Messenger. This This eternal flashlight was given to me by Giftgiver to take to the fellowship. I must carry out my task. We care nothing for the fellowship, and we have never heard of Giftgiver. We must have that flashlight. Our scientists will study it to learn why it shines so brightly, and why it never goes out. Hand it over now, or we will take it by force, threatened the police. After securing the flashlight, the police were quickly gone, leaving Messenger alone with the people. He turned and said, "My friends, Giftgiver loves you. Please come with me to the fellowship, so we may spread the word of Giftgiver's love. It's not far now, just a little further." "We do not know Giftgiver," answered the small crowd, "but you have saved us from the dark forest, and we will always be grateful. We trust you, Messenger, and will go with you to the fellowship." Now, while all this was happening, Preacher was using the marvelous speaking horn to tell the crowds that Giftgiver loved them. They followed her until the road came to a high cliff towering over the sea. Preacher had always loved the ocean, so she stopped for a moment to look at the waves. But as she stared, a gust of wind snatched the speaking horn from her hands, and it tossed it over the cliff. The crowd gasped as it was swallowed by the breaking surf. Preacher was lost at first, but then she turned and addressed the crowd in her loudest voice. "The marvelous speaking horn is gone, but Giftgiver still loves you. Come with me the rest of the way to the fellowship. They need people like you who know of Giftgiver's love." The day had come for Preacher, Shepherd, and Messenger to report back to Giftgiver. As they huddled in the waiting room, they were afraid of what might happen. They did not wait long, however, for soon the call came for them to appear before the throne. When they had been ushered into the presence of Giftgiver, Preacher spoke up for the three. "Oh, Giftgiver, we know that you are the giver of all good and perfect gifts. Forgive us for our failure." "Why did you fail me?" asked the Giftgiver. Did you not tell the fellowship the message of my love? Did you not help to bring about peace in that community? Did you not bring them hope?" "Well, these things we had a small part in," answered Preacher. "Our failure was in not guarding the gifts you entrusted to us. We've all failed and lost the sacred flashlight, bicycle, and speaking horn. Oh, forgive us." Giftgiver paused and then replied in a voice of ageless patience, "My little children, do you have ears to hear and do not listen? Do you have minds to understand and do not comprehend? Those things I provided were but tools for you to accomplish the task. The true gifts I gave to the fellowship were you."